can't live in a truck camper.
In this video, we're gonna be talking about why you couldn't live in a truck camper. That's right. It's not that we don't believe in you guys. It's just that it's not for everybody. We've been living in this truck camper for the last year and we absolutely love it. Truck camper living is definitely for us. We're gonna tell you why you couldn't live in it. We're gonna give you some of the realities of it. If you're considering living in an RV or a camper and maybe considering a truck camper, this is definitely the video for you to watch. We bought a 1999 Lance Light truck camper. We have it sitting in the bed of our Chevy Silverado 2500. It's a 2012. It's a heavy duty truck and it carries it really nicely. We bought this camper for less than $4,000, completely renovated it. Took about 4 months for us to complete it. We're constantly doing maintenance on it. First thing we're gonna go over is constant maintenance. So since you have well over 2,000 pounds sitting in your truck bed, you got to make sure your suspension is strong enough. You got to make sure all the things that might break won't break, and if they do break, you got to fix it. We've had this truck for a little over a year and we've clocked over 15,000 miles on it. We've gone from one side of the country in Florida all the way to California and back from California to Florida. So we've done a lot of driving. When we're at our jobs, we actually don't drive very much, so we're not doing a whole lot of wear and tear on the truck, but going across the country obviously would put a lot of wear and tear on the camper and on the truck itself. So that is definitely a big expense. I mean, obviously we're not paying a mortgage or rent, and we try to do things ourselves whenever we're able to. We pretty much do all of the stuff in the camper ourselves. So all of the fixes, all of the repairs, I don't know anybody that would do that stuff for me, honestly. So I gotta figure it out typically. First thing, maintenance. I'll let Amber talk about the second thing.
Another reason why you can't live in a truck camper, because your hair doesn't look this good. This is windblown to the max. The truth is that living in a tiny space with another person and a dog is hard. It is not easy. It is challenging and it takes compromise. By compromise, it's serious. That is not an understatement. Whenever Giulietta and I want to cohabitate, we have to take turns. That's why it just happens to work out that Giulietta gets up before me. So when she wakes up in the morning, she has her morning routine and this space. When we're both down here trying to do something at the same time, she's trying to make her coffee, I'm trying to make my lemon water and my smoothie. It ain't happening. Our counter is this big, so we have to compromise and we have to dance around each other. It is an art form. It is like ballet. We squeeze to the side, we wait patiently, and then Giulietta will look over. No joke, Giulietta will look over and I'm like holding something, like trying to patiently wait for her to finish what she's doing, and she's just like having this nice moment pouring a cup of coffee, and I'm like, I really hope she's done soon, but I don't say that, but she can tell by my face. This is the counter space I'm talking about here. This is not made for two people to be doing anything at the same time. When you just have a few things on the counter, it looks like an absolute mess. So we're very mindful about putting every single item away as we use it to clear up as much space as we can.
Except for right now. But I just did dishes, so it was like, it's like, I mean, this is 2 mugs and these, and it looks like there's so much stuff out here.
Yeah.
Also, you have to be very careful not to bump into everything, especially when you got big cups that can spill water everywhere. That happens quite a lot with us, so that's also a part of like just a tiny space that we have. Obviously we can both stand in here, we're together right now, but just operating and like making things happen, making coffee, making food.
Yeah.
It's a one-man show out here, okay?
Or changing clothes is also something, right? So Giulietta's trying to put on her outfit, but half her clothes are over here, half are over here, and I'm like, I'll just patiently wait to get mine until later. And we're both really good at, again, compromise.
We always have some kind of clothing out here. This is used as like, look at obviously we have all of this stuff out right now, but we're trying to put this away. So we are pretty good about putting stuff away, except for sometimes there's just gonna be a box of crackers that's gonna sit there for days for some reason.
Yeah, in my corner over there where I sit just happens to be the junk corner, or like the chair where all the clothes hang. That just happens to be mine. So I'll look over and I realize I'm sitting on this big of a space because we have stuff all over.
So what happens sometimes is I just kind of like go lay in the bed and just kind of get out of the way so Amber can do her thing. And even though I don't really want to lay in the bed, but I do. I just go lay down.
Compromise.
And then Winston wants to get in the corner and he squishes back here.
That's his corner no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And he's on the bed a lot, but he
Yeah.
likes to be down here with us.
You know that we like to cook all of our own food. We hardly ever get takeout. Well, today's a major exception because we've had honeys visit us, and our honeys have brought us delicious food. Honey came today. Her name is Heidi, and she brought us delicious Cuban sandwiches and black beans and rice, a guava pastry. Thank you so much, Heidi, for that. It was wonderful meeting you. We haven't had a guava cheese pastry like this since we were in Key West. And let me tell you, it is so divine. It's fried on the outside, guava, cream cheese, definitely a Cuban thing. And my favorite Cuban food is black beans. She brought some of those too. They did not disappoint. Also, when you have a very tiny space, you have to have very tiny and very few appliances and cutlery. So we genuinely only have 3 forks, 2 spoons, 2 bowls, you know, very little. And every time that we use something, we have to wash it immediately or else we genuinely won't have anything else to use. One more struggle about having a very tiny kitchen area is that our sink, we never updated it or anything. It's the original. And the drain on it is so small that if you get one piece of rice caught in the drain, it clogs the sink. I got more. We also can't sit up in our bed. So it's like this much too short for us to be able to sit up in bed. So getting in and out, we have this crawl that we do. It's a struggle, but it's just part of it. So see, I can't sit up.
So we just kind of prop pillows behind our head and lounge. We have a TV right here. We can watch TV.
The real trick is getting out of bed. So especially in the middle of the night, and there's 2 people in the bed and Winston usually in between us or on the side. So getting out, you have to be so conscious about not sitting up.
What are you doing, Winston? Another reason why you couldn't do truck camper living full time is because you need a big old truck. And we're about to show you one of the biggest, baddest trucks we've ever seen. Now this is like a dream truck, right? We're gonna show you right now. This is our friends from the Cummins camper. I'm sorry, that makes our camper look so tiny. Okay, maybe you can't live in a camper our size, but I think you could definitely live in a camper that size. There's even a slide out. Look at that rig, you guys. Time to open up the tree lot. The highway noise is very loud today. We're gonna talk to our friends Eric and Marissa from the Cummins camper about the struggles of living in a truck camper together as a couple. And if you follow Eric on the Cummins camper, he's always fixing something, changing something, like doing things that are just like, I mean, way over my head, honestly. So I really admire you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. We admire you too. I think that the biggest struggle would be figuring out, like, if he wants to bring something in and I'm opposed to that new item coming in, agreeing about those items. For example, I was very reluctant for Eric to get his dirt bike, and now we carry all this dirt bike gear, and he got injured and he hasn't used the dirt bike in a pretty long time. So it was something that was...
I have the same struggle, except it's with cooking items. So that's why I hide stuff on Marissa to prove that she's not using it. So for example, there's some bowls that have been living in our cabinet that we have 4 of that we never use. And I'm gonna hide those to prove a point. I hid cutting boards and I hid pot holders because
the point
you both end up with stuff
I have 4 of everything
that you don't need.
because I want to be able to entertain, even though I live in a small space.
We have 5 dinner plates.
And one could break, and then you have an extra for backup. They're thin Corel dinner plates. Everything works out in the long run. We always have enough to entertain. If we only had 2, then I would ask people to have to bring their own stuff
Which is
over.
what every other RVer does. So we definitely have our things that we battle back and forth over what do we want to keep in the camper.
I have a lot of shoes. I counted last, I think I had 20 pairs of shoes. So that is also something that...
How many pairs of shoes do you have, Amber?
Oh, 4.
Only 4. I got more than 4.
Well, when we were traveling on our big stint, going from Florida to California, I probably had 7 pairs, flip-flops and cold shoes and warm shoes, but we knew it wouldn't be freezing here, so I didn't bring boots and all that to this.
Yes.
Do you guys try and do, I've heard other RVers, like 1 in, 1 out kind of policy? Like you buy a new shirt, you got to get rid of a shirt. Buy new shoes, got to get rid of a pair of shoes.
That's our goal, but then I grow an emotional attachment to every item that I have, and then I just squeeze them both in there instead.
I would definitely say that, like, for a couple, that's an arguing point living in a small space. Is like, you got to get this out of here.
Yes.
Like, this has to go. So
Yeah.
we have the agreement that if you buy this, the other thing is going to leave, right?
Yeah.
Get a bigger truck than you think you need and probably spend less money on the camper than the truck. Because you guys have learned kind of the same way as us, like you can rebuild these things, you can maintain them, fix them. It's one of the struggles of being on the road, but I'd rather spend 2/3 of my money on the truck and 1/3 of it on the camper, knowing that it's easier to improve the camper over time than it is to try and build out a stronger truck than what you bought originally.
And you just went through like changing out all of the upgrades that you had on your old truck and putting it into your new truck, which took you like a few weeks, and like you had a
Took me a whole
constant
summer.
checklist of stuff that you had to do. So
Yeah.
once you do all the mods to your truck, I'm sure it's like really hard to want to like give up that truck. Whereas the camper, you know,
You can fix up, and if you're stranded on the side of the road, you're like, I wish I would have spent more on the truck.
Yes.
Exactly.
Something interesting that I think a lot of people wouldn't think about truck camper life is that it gets lonely.
Yeah.
And so meeting up with friends who we've become friends online and then we meet up in real life, it just feels so good. It's a sense of camaraderie, and we can all do the same things together, like-minded people, and see how you guys live. Because everybody is, you know, we're both doing truck camper life, but we live different lifestyles too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to see y'all's habits intertwine with our habits and how we can co-mingle and inspire each other to do different things too.
For sure.
Yeah, it's super fun that we all kind of like meet each other and within the first few hours have so much in common because of us living the same lifestyle. Whereas like we were talking about it yesterday, our friends from home, or my friends from home, like I don't talk to them as much as I talk to my friends who are doing the same lifestyle that I've met through Instagram and stuff like that, because it's so much more, I don't know, captivating to talk to you guys about what you're doing with your truck camper, where you're at, versus hitting up my buddy who's back home like, I'm riding my mountain bike today after my 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's
Love
so
you guys
true.
if you're
We do.
watching this.
And I think that's another reason why like you couldn't live in a truck camper. Not that we don't believe in you guys, but it's just a really unique lifestyle, to Eric's point.
We've had so many of our sweet honeys come to this Christmas tree lot and meet us in real life that, I mean, it's really opened our hearts to see you in real life, not just the comments. Is wonderful. Isn't it great to meet people who
Oh,
you
it's
foster this
fantastic.
relationship with?
Yeah.
That big truck has got me wanting to get a bigger truck, but honestly, I do feel very appreciative for what we have. I feel incredibly grateful for the truck that we have. The reality of truck camping is you need a big old truck to carry a more heavy, more spacious truck camper. I knew that the Chevy Silverado 3/4 ton payload wasn't that high, so we did look for one of the lightest Lance truck campers that are out there. So this camper is a 1999 Lance Light 815. It's one of the more lighter campers. Therefore, there's no oven. The water tanks are a little bit smaller, so we can't carry as much fresh water. Another disadvantage of having a truck camper is the shower toilet situation. This is what they call a wet bath. So you can take a shower directly in here. You don't need to do anything special. Obviously, we would have to move all of this stuff. The reason why we don't use this as a shower is we do not have a hot water heater. And most of the times when we're traveling, we need to conserve water. So obviously showers waste a lot of water. And also the toilet that we have, when you need to go, you know what I mean? It's like not that comfortable because it's really tight and small in this space.
Another quality about Eric and Marissa that we love is when we're with them It's always happy hour. Marissa has been making us the most incredible cocktails and mocktails.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we're gonna have some mocktails, some cocktails.
Oh, it smells
We're
so fresh.
so happy to meet you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
so pleased
Happy
to
to
meet
meet
you guys.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
What do we got in here? Cucumber, some basil.
Cucumber, basil, jalapeno, and then yours is lime, simple syrup, and club soda. Ours
You're
has
so sweet. Thank
jalapeno,
you.
cucumber, tequila.
They made me a special mocktail
tequila's my
too.
thing.
Marissa made me a special mocktail. Look how beautiful that is. Out of a magazine right there.
It really is. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Super refreshing.
And Marissa has come through with her first batch of cocktails for the day. We're having fresh pina coladas. Eric and Marissa even carry real glasses in their truck camper, so it's really elevating the experience. Look at this. I'm transported to the tropics. Boom. Palm trees, umbrellas. This is great.
Eric and Marissa are making us some smash burgers tonight on the grill.
Oh yeah.
It's Smashburger 30.
Ooh, what do we got on top of it?
Bacon and onions, all caramelized, smushed together there. Thank you. Thank you.
We got some QP going on there. That's like a little sweet Japanese mayonnaise.
Yep. So they use
Deliciousness.
strictly the yolk when making Japanese mayo, no egg white involved.
Wow.
So it gives it more of like a creamy, buttery sort of flavor to it. I'll put it on my steak. It's so good.
Ooh. Thank you so much.
Oh man. Oh, this looks
Yeah.
exceptional right here.
Smash burger.
A work of art, if I do say so myself.
Ramses has been the dude who showed up for us every single day, helping me load trees, pick up trees, saving my back and my hips. My hips start to hurt, to be honest. So I want to give a huge shout out to Ramses. Thank you so much for showing up for us. We're out here making good money, having a good time, eating good food.
Next round of Marissa's incredible concoctions is an apple cider mimosa with the mimosa flute. How do you live in a truck camper and you have mimosa glasses, flute glasses? How?
The edges are perfectly crispy. And it still's got that flame broiled flavor. With the nice sweetness of the Kewpie mayo. All right, let's do one more bite.
Our next segment of craft cocktails with Marissa is a smoked watermelon mezcal wonderland. I have never had a drink created so beautifully. It's incredible. The smokiness with the mezcal with the actual wood chip smoke